Since April trough, Ethereum has risen by 179%, delivering a higher rate of return than Bitcoin at 66%. But most of our attention is on Bitcoin breaking above 120,000 level. Why is Ethereum quietly gaining ground? And what does the future hold for Ethereum? My name is Con Hao. My work in this channel is to study behavior science and finance, discover correlation between different markets, and uncover potential opportunities. This analysis is based on technical studies and does not constitute financial advice. Please consult your licensed broker before investing. Bitcoin was launched in the year 2009, whereas Ethereum came later in 2015. Yet, we can observe very similar behavior between the two during their rallies in 2017, 2021, and possibly again in 2025. Bitcoin has gone up. So is Ethereum going to catch up with Bitcoin eventually? And in our last tutorial, we discussed the key reason why Bitcoin, often seen as a leader of cryptocurrencies, has appreciated significantly. Number one, it is viewed as a digital gold. Number two, a hedge against inflation. And number three, it is a more trusted cryptographic asset compared to fiat currency. So what propelled Bitcoin to its current height? It was the endorsement by the US regulators, the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as SEC. And to date, there are only two cryptocurrency approved by the SEC, and they are the Bitcoin and Ethereum. And let's rewind and examine how each of them react to their respective approval. But before that, I do notice that in 2022, when inflation hit a high of 9%, both Bitcoin, Ethereum has hit its trough and it trend higher. We saw that in Bitcoin and we also saw that in Ethereum. When inflation was at high, they meet a trough and start to move up. It kind of clearly speaks that they are also an inflationary hedge assets. Now let's look at the regulator's approval for Bitcoin. So in January 2024, and where was January 2024? It was around here. And for the first time in US history, the SEC approved a cryptocurrency ETF. And since then, we've seen how the Bitcoin has performed. And in July the same year, the SEC also granted approval for the spot Ethereum ETF. However, most of the attention remained on Bitcoin, largely due to its longer history and greater investor familiarity. But that changed in April this year. And what was the news? Let's look at what happened here. And on April 11, 2025, the SEC approved the trading of the Ethereum ETF options. And this was down here. And we saw that how the price have moved and sent Ethereum from the trough to the current, and that was 179%, outperforming the Bitcoin. And let's look at the same period in April. Bitcoin appreciated by 66%, and here we saw Ethereum at 179%. So will Ethereum trend continue just like the Bitcoin past trajectory? And fundamentally, with the regulators' approval in place, both retail and institutional investors are now taking Bitcoin and Ethereum more seriously as an investable asset, and also acknowledging that Ethereum as a laggard compared to Bitcoin. And technically, and this is something interesting that I observe, that there is a potential cup and handle formation on the Ethereum quarterly chart. So if it break above and settle above this neckline, and by the end of this new quarter, it could signal a continuation of its upward trend. So what are your thoughts that Ethereum as a crypto laggard asset to subsequently break above its historical high set in 2021? and to reach greater high. We cannot perfectly time the market, but it is possible to get the market timing right. The market are always telling us on their next move. Feel free to leave any comments below. I'd love to exchange ideas with you on what is about to come. Really happy that you stayed through this tutorial. You have many great trading weeks ahead.